Welcome to my channel. My name is Gopal. I'm a German trauma specialist, and in this video it's all about anger, hate, and the so-called dark, evil forces and aspects of ourselves. Usually anger and hate is seen as bad, as negative and problematic, and we should not be in that state. Yeah, someone who's full of hate is not good. We should not be in that state. Yeah. This is a common perspective. But to be against hate and anger is dangerous. Yeah. It's not being against anger and hate is not the way to transform it. The point is, the important thing is that anger and hate is actually the entry point for your transformation and healing. But we have to be careful. There are two kinds of anger and hate. Yeah, this is important. So I will explain that first. It can be that in childhood you had to suppress your soft and needy parts and your feelings of loneliness and sadness. And one strategy is to move into anger, rage, and so on. So to use the activation of the nervous system and like overwriting the helplessness and the sadness and the tears and so on. So you become basically an artificially strong person. You have easy access to anger and power and dominance. For those people, anger is the problem, yeah, because it's not real anger, it's just a trick to suppress their sadness and loneliness. Yeah, so these people need other information. So for those people, it's not about anger and hate, it's about sadness. But for many people who have suppressed their power, yeah, I would say that more people have a configuration like that. So for those people, the access to all kinds of anger, rage, hate, and so on is the starting point for their healing. Why? Because this energy creates distance, yeah, and this had to be suppressed in childhood, yeah, because there was an environment that was not good for you, and the natural reaction is to create distance, yeah, to something that is not good. We create distance to protect us, and in childhood we are dependent. We could not do that, so we had to suppress it. Yeah. And today we are free from our childhood environment, and we can slowly come back and access that. And you see, it's actually there all the time, because in day-to-day life, constantly there are situations where you are insulted, your borders are crossed. All the time these things happen, and each time the hate, the suppressed anger is triggered. Yeah, so you can become aware more of the situations where you don't feel well, and slowly realize that you actually, that actually the hate wants to come up. And hate as such is not a problem, yeah, as long as we don't act it out. Okay, if there's real danger, we have to act out, of course, to save our lives. But usually, it's not something we have to act out or suppress. It's about sharing. Yeah, so we have to come from suppressing it or acting it out with violence. We have to realize that today we can share it. Yeah, we can say, I feel hate. This makes me angry. Yeah, you can share it in the honest sharing style, for example. Yeah, I feel anger, I feel hate, I feel rage. So then the flow of energy starts, yeah, and you don't have to act it out, and you don't have to suppress it. So this is about anger. Anger is, for those people, yeah, I'm talking about now, is not the problem. In childhood, it was the problem, not really, but it had to be suppressed to survive. But today, it's the path of healing, and all that, you know, there are so many spiritual traditions who focus on empathy and love and compassion, and this is dangerous for such people. Yeah, this is really dangerous because they use that, you know, as as a strategy to suppress it even more. It's not about compassion. No, it's never about compassion. It's about communication. And if you complete your communication, if you are able to share everything, then compassion is there automatically. And to directly focus on compassion means you have to suppress something. Because why would you focus on compassion? That means compassion is not there. And why is this not there? Because you don't fully interact. You're not sharing everything. So, and to force yourself to compassion cannot solve the attachment conflict. Yeah, this is not possible. So it's never about compassion. Compassion is a side effect of being fully capable for deep relationships.